Okay, hello, hello, hello. Hi, tell me if you found the chat box. Yes, Shmuel, hi. Jose, hi. Candice, James, Amit, Ron, nice, Ahmed, yes. John Perro, wow, hello, Melinda, Mr. Carvalho, and JJ, and Kapil, Curtis, Tracy, hello. And Patrick, hi. What's up? Everything is up. And yes, hi Curtis. Hi, Bradley is with you. Good. Susan, hello Susan. How are you? And Swapna, hello. Yes, and Karen, I see you in the chat. Okay, and Vinny, hello. Wonderful, Susan, great. Okay, good. So today going to be very powerful. I prepared for you something really amazing. And you'll see it's yes, like always but more. Like always but more. But let's start with the basics. Agreement, please, no recording. Nothing I say today is true unless it is true for you. Nothing I teach you is new, you already know it. And what I teach is not just theories, it's proven facts, but they need to be implemented in an exact manner, and they are different to what you are used to. And hence, it is the ability to confront the drills, not just the listening, that will produce the expected result. Now, if you're here, you already know that if I ask you to take a deep breath in and you take it in, at one point you will have to exhale. The exhale is your acknowledgement. Because when I talk to you, you inhale data. You need to exhale. You need to give me an acknowledgement. And if you don't give an acknowledgement, you will choke. What you will have is just too much data. Too much inhale will kill you. So are you agreeing to acknowledge, to say, hi, yes, I understand, ask questions, agreed, yes, awesome, perfect. That's why I'm using the chat. Most people that do those webinars don't use the chat, but I use the chat because I want to have two-way communication with you, so you are not getting choked by too much data, too much info. It's not too much data, actually. Very good, Susan, Jose, excellent, definitely. Okay, good, excellent. And the most important thing, the most important thing is you cannot get serious on me. What do I mean don't get serious? It means that anything we do here has to be fun. If it's not fun, it's not pro survival. If it's not fun, it's not good for you. If it's not fun, it kills you, okay? So you can do actually the first most biggest unbelievable mistake you make in your life is that you don't know your value, and so you underestimate your value. You don't know how important, how powerful, how expensive you are, how unbelievable you are. You don't know that, and your handling, because you don't know you are so powerful. What will be your handling? If someone don't think that he's powerful, what do you think will be his handling? If you think that you are not powerful, if you think that you not as powerful as you are, if you reduce your power, what will you do? You get serious, yes, good, you get serious, yes, what else? Yes, you become a slave, yes, but what the mechanism that happened? If you don't know that you're amazing, if you don't know that you're perfect, handling will be clumsy, yes. Don't think others are powerful also. Margaret, that's true. So what will happen? What will be the handling? You resign, yes. Bring down the real value, yes. Won't be effective, yes. So if you don't think that you're amazing, so let's start. The painting, yes. You know my painting job. Okay, here we go. So this is where you are, okay? You are amazing, okay? But you don't know that you're amazing. You think that you are less. You think that you are really low. You don't acknowledge how amazing you are. So what it means that you are not amazing, it means that everyone else is. Now you cannot be not amazing. So what you will do, you will start to find fault with people and things. So you will find fault, in an effort to make you right and them wrong. But it doesn't work. You still don't think that you're amazing. So you will make yourself wrong again. This is really fascinating. Every time someone finds fault with someone is because he thinks that something is wrong with him. If you see someone that finds fault with someone else, the prerequisite for you finding fault with someone else is that you will think that something is wrong with you. Yes, it is. Wow, it is unbelievable. And if you understand that, you will not get upset with someone that finds fault with you. You will understand them. You will just understand them. This is really fascinating. Okay, so don't get serious on me. Don't get serious on me. Know that you are amazing. Know that you are unbelievable. Know that you are perfect, and anything that is not perfect is not you. Okay, so let's start. Why don't you have money? Why don't you have money? Yes, this is wow, I agree. Hi, Shaked. Hi. Okay, so why don't you have money? You obviously know that from the last 2 webinars. The assessment that kills your attempt to have money is that you don't have money because you don't know that you don't know how to sell. That's really the basic principle. And what we've done in the past 2 seminars is just talk about the introduction. I'm still in the introduction to sales. We still didn't start to really talk about sales. But let's start and talk about a little bit of sales, and then we'll go into a little bit more basics, okay? What if I don't know that I don't? That's exactly what happened. You don't know that you don't know. That's why I'm telling you that. This is really what it is, James. Look, you don't know that you don't know how to sell. And that's why you are here. So I'm telling you. Okay, so now what if I do know that I don't know? Then you will have results. If you do know that you don't know, you will have results. As long as you don't have results, you don't know that you don't know. Why? Because you are perfect. Because you can do anything. Because you are so expensive, so unbelievable, so powerful that if you don't have results is the actual proof that you don't know. Because once you know something, even if you know that you don't know, you will improve at that moment. Because knowing that you don't know is actually I know. Really fascinating. Yes. Okay. So very quickly, I'm going to take you through the salesperson problem. We went through that. I'm not going to explain too much. I'm just going to get you into it quickly. So the salesperson knows how to sell, yet for hidden reasons, assume he does not know. The hidden reasons is what I'm going to talk to you today about. What are those hidden reasons? Okay. Now, they get trained incorrectly on how to sell or invent incorrect ways for not selling successfully. So because of number 1, he doesn't have result. He doesn't know the hidden reason, so he starts to try to fix it. But because he doesn't know the real reason, when you try to solve a problem and the problem does not get solved, you're trying to solve the wrong problem. Again, when you try to solve a problem and the problem does not get solved, you're trying to solve the wrong problem. This is very important to know. Every time you try to solve a problem and the problem do not get solved, you're trying to solve the wrong problem. You need to know that. It is not what you think. Now, because you don't know, you don't bring results, you sell and still you don't get the results, so you get into a confusion. You say, what now? I don't know what to do. I've tried. What do I do now? Well, the only thing that you can do at that moment is to commit a sin, not intentionally, unintentionally you commit a sin. When you confuse about where you're going, you can take the wrong turn, you can commit a sin. When you confuse about the way, you can commit a sin. How do you know that you know so you can get the desired result? When you have the result, is the only proof that you know. If someone tell you that he knows how to play guitar, but he cannot play, but he doesn't bring nice songs, does he know how to play the guitar? No. If someone tell you, I'm the expert, I know that I know how to dance, but he dances like a guy with no legs, it doesn't work, yes? If someone tell you, I know how to make business, but all his businesses go bankrupt, you get the idea. So the only proof is result.
पावर नहीं है मतलब कैसे एक मिनट का इंटरनेट नहीं आ रहा वहां से फोन कर अपना हॉटस्पॉट चला मैं आगे चला लूं
yes Vishal and Vira. Okay, good. Okay, is that better now? The noise is better? Yes, good, perfect. Thank you for telling me. Excellent, perfect. Okay, so after confusion you will commit a sin unintentionally. Is that making sense to everyone? After confusion, you will make a sin. Does it make sense? Yes. Excellent. So everyone knows that. Excellent. And the next thing that happened after a sin, you prevented communication. You get prevented communication. Are you going to explain what you mean by a sin? A sin is something that you do that you wouldn't want someone else to do to you. Okay, a sin is something that you do that you wouldn't want to do to you. Okay, so let's draw it. So you have a problem here. Okay, you applied the wrong solution, which means you try to solve the wrong problem. Okay, what happened is the original problem grows, so that problem will grow. That problem grows, and that growth you know as confusion. Now you are confused. Okay, you don't know what to do. You are confused. It's more than you can handle. Because of that confusion now, you don't know what's right and what's wrong. What does it mean confused? You don't know what's right, what's wrong. And the result of confusion is unwittingly you commit a sin. Because you committed the sin, the first thing that happened after any person commit a sin, you don't go to the newsletter and the newspaper and you say, I just stole 1,000 rand or $1,000. What you do, you hide. What does it mean to hide? To prevent communication. Everyone with me so far? Good, excellent. Now, if you prevent communication, you cannot have. If you prevent communication, you cannot have. Do you get that? Do you understand that if you prevent communication, you cannot have? Because the only thing that you have in your life is the communication with things. You never have the things. So the result of hide is cannot have, or being poor. Same thing, not having what you want. You cannot have. If you don't have as much in line with your abilities, if you don't have as much in line with your abilities, you need to know that the source of all of that is you trying to solve a wrong problem. This is the source. That, this, and that is a manifestation. But what you try to handle is the sin. You feel bad. What you try to handle is to communicate or not communicate. What you try to handle is the confusion. What you try to handle is more solution. You go and you learn and you learn and you watch more videos and you go to more lessons and you go to more seminars. And the more you go to seminars, the poorer you get. Why? Because you're trying to solve the wrong problem. You never actually defined the real initial problem. That problem was never defined. So all of those things, you're trying to solve the wrong problem. Do you get that? Can it be that in hiding you communicate or think you are, but you communicate with the wrong thing? No, you don't communicate. You don't communicate. To communicate with the wrong thing, there's no such thing to communicate with the wrong thing. You don't communicate. Because communication is not with a correct thing. Communication is communication. It's the definition of the word communication is to deliver a piece of data or deliver some particle that the other side can accept easily. Okay, Amit, this is what I'm teaching. How do you know the real problem? This is what I'm going to teach you. So you cannot have. So anyone that try to make money, anyone that try to have money, anyone that try to do business, anyone that do not have in life the relationship that he wants, the love that he wants, the children that he wants, anything you want that you don't have, you will try to solve that problem by all kind of ways, but you never define the real problem. How come that you know how to sell or you know how to have a relationship? You know, the definition of you is you don't know what are the hidden reasons. And since you don't know what the hidden reasons, everything that you will try to do will bring worse results. You try to make money, you lose money. You invest money in seminars, you invest money, the end result, you have less money. You start a business, the end result, it may make you money, but you earn less than if you will do the same job for someone else. If you look, you'll see that most people, it's true for most people. So you don't get as much as you can have because you don't understand the real source of the problem. So what you do, after you've tried all these solutions, not to communicate, you try all of these things to fix it, the only thing that you have, you leave. You stop selling, first covertly and later overtly. You stop the relationship with your wife. You stop talking to her, first covertly, then overtly. You stop the relationship with your body, first covertly and then overtly. It applies to anything. The same mechanism. And so, for as long as you assume you don't know, you will fail. The problem is that you assume that you don't know. For as long as you assume you don't know, you will fail. Do you get that? Do you understand that? Prerequisite for success, you need to know that you know. You don't need a proof that you know. You don't need a certificate that you know. You don't need a university that tell you that you know. You need to know that you know. And you will see when you acted like that from the viewpoint of, of course I know. Everything worked out. And your life started to go sideways or up, down way or wrong way when you bought the story that you don't know. So for as long as you assume you don't know, that you will fail. Number two, all you need to success is know that you know. That's all you need. You just need to know that you know. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be proven. It doesn't have to be anything. You just need to know that you know. But everything and anything around here tells you that you don't know. Do you get that the idea? Yes? Yep. Yes. Yes. Good. Excellent. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Now, my purpose is to wake you up to the truth that you know. That's my purpose. And I do that through teaching you specific subject. Let's say, for example, sales. But I teach you the basic truth that undo those hidden reasons that cause you to assume that you don't know. So this is, I really want you to understand that, yes, I teach you about sales, but my real purpose is not to teach you about sales. My real purpose is to undo the hidden reasons, that prevents you from doing anything, from just knowing. Yes, with the lead. Very cool, yes. So, you say, people say to, if you give a person a fish, he will have a meal. And if you teach him how to fish, he will be a fisherman and he will have meals all his life. But they don't tell you also that you put him in a jail, that now he can be only a fisherman and God forbid he cannot be a musician if he likes to be a musician or dancer or anything else, yes? That's the wrong thing. The right thing is not to teach him how to fish. The right thing is actually to remove the things that prevent him from knowing anything. So you can do that by teaching him how to learn. That's one gradient. So he can learn anything and it's good. But the real right way is to teach him how to know. Does it make sense? Okay? Good. Excellent. Okay. What's the handling? What do you think is the handling? What is the handling? What do you think is the handling for that? What's the handling? What is the handling? To teach everyone that they know, yes, yes. The right drill, yes. Removing false information, yes. Removing false data. To confront, yes. Know that you know, yes. But how? Learn correct data knowledge. That's correct, Baya. What else? Learn the, yes. To clear all the reasons, yes. I don't understand the question. What's the handling for that you have a person that he actually, the definition of the word spirit is this thing that knows, and you assume you don't know, and because you assume you don't know, you fail all your life. And you cannot just assume that you know, because when you try to assume that you know, it doesn't work. Assume address why they don't know, they don't want to know. How? But what is it? We need some kind of proof for ourselves. Well, the more proof you will want, the less you will become you, the less you will know. The more proof you want, the less you know. The more proof you want, the weaker you are. When someone knows how to play guitar, do you think that he needs a proof to play, that he knows how to play guitar? When you know your name, do you need a proof to be confident that I know? But how? That's true, it's true, but how? To decide to make it, yes, okay, all of this correct. What you're saying is correct, but I want to give you the actual. So the short answers, and then I will break them down. The short answer is, number one, you need to be certain, but the question is how. And the number two is to learn the correct knowledge on how to sell or anything and become certain. But how do I know if it's the correct knowledge? So we know that we need to be certain. If you're certain, you just know. And if you learn the correct knowledge, everything is good. But how do you know if it's the correct knowledge or not? Okay, and that's what we're going to handle today. This is the subject of today's webinar. So what stops certainty? What do you think that stops you from being certain? What do you think the one thing that stops you from being certain, that's 100% certain? Doubt, yes, but what? Invalidation, yes. Yes. Failure, that's correct. Past failure, yes. Your experience, that's correct. Yes. That's all correct. That's all very, very true. Not enough success in what you've done in the past. That's true. Invalidation, that's very true. No result, no communication, no willingness. Not yes, that's correct. Not knowing that you know. Yes, yes. That's very good. Yes. Fact and reasons. JJ, you are very right. Committing sins, self-invalidation, fear. You have decided you don't know. That's very true. Agreeing with the physical universe, that's all true. All true, okay? So the one thing that stops certainty is you don't know that you're perfect. Now, what does it mean perfect? What does it mean to be perfect? What does it mean to be perfect? No idea. Good. What does it mean? What, without flaw? Do you know about anything without flaws in this universe? What does it mean? Equal, plus, and minus. Do you know about any plus and minus that equal? To be right in every way? How can you be right in every way? Total potential. So what does it mean? Cannot make a mistake, but how? Everyone makes mistakes, other than me and my wife. To look until, yes, to be the creator, Shaked, that's very, very true. Okay, so let's have a look. So you already know my drawing that I'm doing here, that if this is the beginning of time, yes, this is the theoretical beginning. And from the theoretical beginning, there's an ongoing time, okay? Hold on a second, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Yes, I muted myself because I needed to handle some noises I got here. Okay. Okay, good. So you know this is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is the theoretical beginning. And from this theoretical beginning, there's time going. And what does it mean, time? Time means imperfection. Time means change. Change means imperfection. It means there's here plus and minus, okay? And there are more pluses and minuses, and time means imperfection, a change, always change. Okay? So far so good. Time means imperfection. So for as long as you are in this area from the beginning forward, there is no such thing as perfect. Which means the more you agree with the physical universe, the less perfect you are. So you cannot be certain when you operate within the physical universe. You can be certain only if you have an external viewpoint to the physical universe. So you just assume, and so it's true. You just decide, and so it's true. You don't look for confirmation. If you look for confirmation, you will never be certain. You get the idea? Anything that is not perfect is not you, because you are perfect, and perfect means no plus minus, no change, no time. Assume to know by gradient. No, not by gradient. There's no gradient. When you know, you know. You don't assume that you know your name by gradient. Let me see. I think that my 90%, that's my name. How do you delete imperfection? You don't delete imperfection. You don't delete imperfection. You stop looking for confirmation from the physical universe. Okay? So for as long as you operate in the physical universe, let's say that you say, well, you know, I can pick up 10 kilos. Okay? Let's say you say I can pick up 10 kilos in the gym. And you go to the gym and you say, okay, let me try to pick up 10 kilo. The moment that you went to the gym to check if you can pick up 10 kilo, at that moment, you already lost. Okay, are you with me? Okay, we will explain a bit more. The basic thing, you know, you don't know that you are perfect. And to be perfect, you have to be exterior to the physical universe, because to be perfect, you need to be exterior to the physical universe. And you can say that the physical universe is the sum of all reasons that has been invented to convince you that you are not perfect. Okay? The physical universe is the sum of all reasons that you dreamed up to convince you that you are not perfect. So when you look for confirmation from the physical universe, you need someone to tell you that you are right. You need someone to tell you that you are beautiful. You need a scale to tell you that you lost weight. You need something to tell you how amazing you are. You're not amazing anymore. You lost it. Thank you. Yeah, exactly, Baya. You don't monitor results. When you need to monitor results, is the only reason you monitor results. People that, let's say, someone that is rich, someone that have $5 billion, do you think that he monitors his result in regards to money? Only failures monitor results. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to monitor results, but I'm telling you that this is not how you're going to become perfect. You know that if you run your business and you're successful, you will simply know what's going on with your results. Statistics has been created for irresponsible people. Responsible people just know the numbers in their head. You don't need to keep stat when you're good. You know the numbers. You can ask me at any given moment how much money I have in any stash. I'll tell you. I'll tell you all the number of people that I'm in com with. I will tell you everything because I know. And when I stop knowing, when I don't know, when I need numbers or lists to tell me, it is because I already lost responsibility. If you look at something that you knew, if you look at something that you actually been successful at, you didn't need any list. You just knew. You needed your employees to have lists because they didn't know. You know the numbers. You look at a deal, and in one blink of an eye, you already know, will this deal work or not? Because you know. When do you need numbers? Is when you need confirmation from the physical universe. When do you need confirmation from the physical universe? Is when you failed already. So, okay, if you fail, then we will build the ladder for you to climb, and there will be statistics, and there will be all kind of things that you need to know, and blah, 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 blah. But all of them, the purpose is for you to know. The purpose is not for you to use crutches, statistic, or anything else. Do you get the idea? Exactly, that is the check. Amit, yes. It is mind-blowing, yes. Yeah, very powerful, yes. Yes. Wow, wow. It is amazing, Tracy, yes. This is really fascinating. Yes, Wapna, I agree. It is very, very powerful. Fascinating, yes, I love this word. So what stops certainty? You don't know that you are perfect. I'm selling you on that. If you've been with me for the past few years, I'm selling you on that you are perfect, and anything that is not perfect is not you. And you have to be super cocky about yourself, as long as you are allowing everyone around you to be as cocky as you, if not more. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. You don't know that you are perfect. But Meir, the other whom we work in the physical, good, so this is a different thing. I'm not talking to the others, I'm talking to you, Ahmed. For them, we have all the crutches in the world, but someone needs to be the creator. Thank you, Candice. Now, what is the result of you not knowing you are perfect? What will happen? If you don't know that you are perfect, what will happen? Good, Curtis. It is very useful, Vinny, yes. You become a fact, yes. You listen to others, failures, will not create confusion, make a sin, that's correct. Commit a sin, yes, confusion, not have a mid, deterioration, stop. I surrender, that's true. You doubt yourself and cut your power. Try to fix what is not need to be fixed by, yes, confusion, yes. Sin, stop communication, Margaret, I still don't know. What is, I asked 3 times. I still don't know what is perfect. Perfect is anything that is not physical, the spirit. Solidified facts, you attract non-optimal result. Okay, all of this is true. All of this is true. No result. Excellent. So this is really something really interesting. If you are not perfect, if in your view you are not perfect, if you think that you are really bad at something, if you think that you are really weak, if you think that you are bad, that you built to be a criminal, you born to a sinner, you are terrible. If this is what you think, the end result will be you will do more and more non-perfect things. If you think that you are not perfect, you will do more and more non-perfect things. This is unbelievable. Oh my God, yes. Because if I'm a sinner, well, I'm a sinner, then okay, good, let me be a sinner. I'll be a good sinner. Yes? If I'm a cheater, let me be the best cheater in the universe. You get the idea? This is really fascinating. Every time someone tells you that you are not perfect, every time someone tried to fix you by showing you what's wrong, actually, he tried to make you wrong and by that make himself right. Because he knows that he is not. It sounds crazy, but it is so true. Misty, that's true. Yeah. When someone tells you that you are wrong, you need to understand the mechanism that's going on in his head, knowingly or not unknowingly. This guy decided he's not perfect. He knows secretly he's not perfect. Okay? He thinks he's bad, which means he knows that you're good. Now, the only way for him to improve is to make you wrong and bad, so he will have a relief that he's not so bad. This is really fascinating. You can say that the only mistake in this universe, it is incredible. The only mistake in this universe is to convince people that they are not perfect. And people will go around and say, well, you know, I'm only human, which means I'm not perfect, which means I have a license to kill. And I will do more non-perfect things because I have a justification. I'm just a human. What a sick trap, yes. This is really fascinating. Now, you convince yourself that the right way to act is, and religion wants to make us a sinner. I don't know, I'm not getting into religion. You know why? I'm not getting into religion right now. Because my dad is not here. But that's a different story. You convince yourself that the right way to act is, now what happened when you're not knowing that you are perfect, you convince yourself that the right way to act is like that. Number one, less know and more unknown. You will see that as you will convince yourself that you are not perfect, which means if I don't perfect, I cannot know everything. I'm not perfect. I'm just a human. So you convince yourself that you know less and less and less. You less know and you get more unknown. So as time goes along, you will see that as people get older, they tell you, well, you know, I got older and I've learned that every day you learn something and you learn how much you don't know. Bullshit. Bullshit. You are perfect. If you learn, you need to learn how much you know, not how much you don't know. The process of learning is deleting false data, not adding reasons why you are useless. This is fascinating. It's the opposite of what everyone thinks. So what will happen when you don't know that you are perfect? You will less know and more unknown. You'll get less know and more unknown. Everyone tries to show they know more, and by that prove they know less. What do I mean? Let me explain to you what do I mean. Yeah, this is really one. Everyone try to tell you that they know more. So when you go to a person and you go into a meeting or you go to a social gathering, everyone try to show how much they know, how important they are, etc., like how important I am. Now, if I'm already important, let's say this is me, and I'm already important. You know what will be the manifestation of me are already important? I will not know that I know. I will just know. When you know, you don't go around and say, I know, I know, I know. When you're beautiful, you don't go around and you say, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. When you play guitar or dance, or you don't go around and say, oh, I play guitar, I know how to play guitar. Because for you, playing a guitar is the useless thing in the universe because you already know. If you know how to speak English, you don't go around and say, well, you know, I know how to speak English. I know how to speak English. There are many people that don't know how to speak English and want to know how to speak English. And they go and they're dying to know how to speak English. And they try to prove how they learned a few words. They do exams. They do all kinds of things, yes? But when you know, you don't try to prove it. It's like when you have a hand, you don't go around and say, I have a hand, I have a hand, I have a hand. It's only when you don't have a hand you try to show that you can manage without hand. Thank you, Patrick. So you will see that when you don't know that you're perfect, you will try to show that you know, and actually you prove that you know less. When someone tell you, I'm ethical, he's unethical. When someone tell you, I never late. Yes, maybe he's not late for those meetings with you, but he's late in answering emails, he's late in his achieving his target in life, he late in life. Okay? When someone tell you, you know, I never lie. I promise you, he lie all day long. Maybe not to you, but to himself. He lies. Because otherwise, if you have something, it doesn't strike you as going around and saying, well, I have a hand. When you see someone without a hand, you don't think, oh, I have a hand. You think, he doesn't have a hand. Good. You don't think I have a hand because you have it. But if you don't have a hand, you will say, well, my hand is cut less than his. You understand? This is really fascinating. This is really fascinating. So number one, less know and more unknown. So when people don't know, they say to you, the more you think you are not perfect, the less you will know. Number two, less understanding and more misunderstanding. The more a person looks certain, the less certain he is. Thank you, Amit. The more a person looks certain, the less certain he is. Because when someone is really certain, he knows. He doesn't show it. So let's look. Let's say that I know how to play trumpet. Okay, I'm certain about it. Yes, I'm certain that I know how to play trumpet, and I'm the best trumpet player in the universe. You understand that as the best trumpet player in the universe, I will see all the imperfections, and as someone average, I will look certain, but I will not hear the imperfection, and so I will not improve to become the best. So a person that is really certain, he knows, and because he knows, he can improve. What about certainty as a teacher? Are you, Meir, certain about what you are sharing today? No, I'm not certain, I know. And because of that, there's certainty. Yeah. Now you get less of you become less cause. When you don't know that you're perfect, you get less of you and more of others effect. You become more effect. All force, counterforce, or argument, all opinions are simply an effort to make others effect and you cause, since you know you are an effect. So if noise, yes. Here we go. Good. Excellent. Are we good? Better. Excellent. Good. So every time you use force or counterforce, any effort, any argument that you ever had, any opinion you had, is simply an effort to make others effect and you cause. Since you know you are the effect. So when a person, if this is you, this is all the viewpoint in the universe, okay? This is all the viewpoints in the universe. And this is you, one viewpoint. Okay, this is one viewpoint. And this is another person viewpoint. And this is another person viewpoint. When you say this is my viewpoint, this is what I think, what you try to say is all the others are wrong. Do you understand that? Yeah, this is really fascinating. So what happens when you don't know that you are perfect? You concentrate on what should not be done, or you resist bad, and by that you intensify your lack of certainty or lack of causation. Can more than one VP be right? When you try to look at right and wrong, you're going to be wrong. Why? If I'm trying to make a viewpoint, let's say I'm saying this viewpoint, this is mine and I'm right, okay? Okay, you understand that inevitably you exclude 99.99999% of the viewpoints, and you cannot be right and in control, because if you are right, you leave all the rest uncontrolled. And while you may be right, you lose control, and control equal income, not right equal income. Rightness do not equal income. Control equals income, and control is the ability to have as many viewpoints as there are. Control is the ability to have as many viewpoints as there are in this universe. 7 billion people, 7 billion viewpoints. So a person that have many viewpoints, let's say someone that actually understand what many people agree or need or want, he will have Amazon. Amazon is basically a viewpoint of many people, so they use it. BlackBerry was that viewpoint for a long time until BlackBerry lost a viewpoint, got concentrated on one viewpoint. Videos, VHS was one of those viewpoints, and they had a very wide viewpoint, but they were locked on that viewpoint and they did not notice about all the other viewpoint that has been developing, and they thought that they are right, and they are right, but not with income. Do you understand? Being right is very bad. Blockbuster videos, yes. Blockbuster, yes. The bastard. Yes. Yes. Okay, so you got the idea. So you concentrate on what should not be done. When you don't know that you are perfect, you concentrate on what should not be done. And what happened is that you stop being beautiful. You stop to love, and you succumb to all invitation to be ugly. Oshri asks, if I say my viewpoint is good for me, does that mean everyone else is wrong? 100%. Because if you take your own viewpoint, what is good for you, what's good for the hunter is not good for the duck. And before you take the viewpoint of the hunter and the duck, sooner or later you will have no ducks. And if you have no ducks, you will have no food, and you will end up wrong. No income. But if you can have the viewpoint of everyone, then you can come to the most pro-survival solution with the least amount of destruction. But when you are right, you come to a solution that have the most amount of destruction. What does it mean, the right solution? The right solution means that you take into account the minimal destruction of the most amount of viewpoints. Minimal destruction of the most amount of viewpoints. That's being right. Now, when you don't know that you are beautiful, when you don't know that you are perfect, you will start to act not beautifully, not perfect, and what you will get to the conclusion that the right way to handle things is with more force, less beauty, more ordinariness, more viciousness. And you will see that people, as they get lower RC, not higher RC, this is what you think. When you think that you are not perfect, you will start to use less and less beauty, less and less communication. You will say, this is my way, that's my red line, to this I don't agree, blah, 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 and you become older. What does it mean, older? Older means that you can experience less viewpoints. So you become slower as well. So you become slower. What does it mean to be slower? Is to be able to experience less viewpoint. And you first become slower and then you become older. Beauty, yes. What is beauty? Any idea, people, what is beauty? What is beauty? Me. Beauty is the ability to put the viewpoint there and not to have the viewpoint handed to you. Anything you put there is beautiful. So you see this lady and you come in the morning and you think, oh my God, what is gorilla doing in my bed? It's because you stopped putting her there. Last night you put her there. You put her there. You thought that she is beautiful. This morning you stopped putting her there, so she stopped being beautiful. You have a new car and it's beautiful for as long as you put it there. One day you decided, now you're starting to put the new car there. It stopped being beautiful. Actually, what alcohol do is reducing your need to be right. It just allows you to have more viewpoints. it's not in the correct way, because it's not your viewpoint, but it's giving you the feeling that you can experience more viewpoints. That's all alcohol is doing. And that's why when you take a person that drank and you put him back into present time by letting him touching walls or whatever, what happened, he regained his useless viewpoint and he stopped being drunk. Because when you are drunk, you have more viewpoint, they're just not yours. Now, what do you resist? What do you resist? What do you think you resist? What do you resist? Hello? Anyone home? Karen Mullen, you are here. Hi. Wrong thing, being told you are wrong, yes. Other viewpoint, yes. Everything to the red line, yes. To be wrong, yes. Things, ideas question my stable datums, yes. I resist reading fictions, Curtis, good. To accept more viewpoint, being wrong, yes, Karen. Sugar, Monica, of course, that's wonderful. Swapna said that I'm wrong, yes. Anything which I don't want to happen, exactly. Force, other woman, yes. Other viewpoints, knowing that you handle anything because you created it, yes. The fear of failure or success, yes. The ability to look at others, scratches, yes. The physical universe, caffeine, yes. Bradley, I like the way you think. Failures, okay, good. What do you resist? What you should not do, what should not happen, being wrong. You resist what you should not do, what should not happen. You generally resist being wrong. Is that correct? Agree, yes? You resist being wrong, what should not be done, yes? Good. Now, to be certain, you must be able to be right and wrong with the same level of enthusiasm. Since if you have to be certain, it means you can be uncertain. If you have to be certain, if you're not just certain, if you have to be certain, if you say, well, I have to be certain about it, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know, I must know, I must know, it means that you can be uncertain, you can have the condition of not knowing. Yes, wow. So you resist being wrong, but in order to be certain, you must be able to be right and wrong with the same level of enthusiasm. So as long as you operate within the area of right and wrong, you cannot be certain, you cannot know, you cannot be beautiful. You want to be beautiful? You have to be able to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. You have to be right and wrong with the same level of enthusiasm. You have to be able to have an accident and say, whoa, that was nice. You have to be able to say, someone put you in jail and you say, whoa, nope, no, wow, interesting, wow, great. You have to be able to say, oh, I lost $1 million, good, it means I can make $1 million, wonderful, beautiful. All points of view, yes. If you have to be right, it means you can be wrong. Do you understand that? If you have to be right, what you're actually saying is, I can be wrong. I am in fear. I am in fear, which means I cannot communicate. If I cannot communicate, believe me, I will not have. What about hurting others when I don't want to hurt them? If you are in worry but you don't want to hurt them, you will hurt them. You want to make sure you hurt someone, try not to hurt them. Look, look, look. This is really fascinating. You will get what you resist. Look at that. I gave you this explanation before, but let's assume that there is a box here, okay? A piece of wood, okay? A block of wood, okay? And let me do that differently. Let's say this is a block of wood, okay? And this block of wood goes like that. From here to here to here. This is a block of wood, okay? And it's quite thick, yes. and it works. And it goes like that. Okay, so this is a block of wood. This is wood, yes? It's solid wood, okay? It's really, really solid wood. Like, let's say this is 5 meter. Okay, and this is, let's say, the width is, let's say, half a meter. Okay, this is the width, is half a meter, 0.5 meter. Okay, and the thickness is also half a meter. So it's a big piece of wood. Okay. Now, let's say that I tell you that I put it on the floor and I tell you to walk on it. Will you be able to walk on it? Half a meter, 5 meter length, will you be able to walk? Yeah, no problem, yes? Easy, yes? Good, easy, anyone can walk on it. It's quite safe, it's easy, it's not a problem. Now, let's say that I take this piece of wood and I put it 100 meters in the air, standing on very solid legs, okay? Very solid legs. And I'm telling you, walk here, 100 meters in the air, just walk the same way like you walked before. Do you think that you'll be able to walk on it, through it? 99% of the problem, no. 99% of the people will say no. It's unsafe. There's no fence, there's nothing to hold. No, not going. Okay? Now, why? Why? Because you think you can be wrong. You can fail. You just think that you can fail. If you have to be right, which means you must not fail, it means you can, so you will not move. If you need to be right, it means you can be wrong. If you start a business, if you want to start a business, and you're worried about all the bad things that will happen, you will never start a business. Because if you start a business, you start a business because you are certain, for a second at least, that it will work. But the moment that you start to think, something can go wrong, during the business, you will stop making the business will not succeed from that moment forward. You go to sell a person, you go to sell to a prospect. The moment that you decided that this prospect may not buy, you lost the deal. Because if you have to be right, if you have to sell, if you have to succeed, it means you can be wrong and you will be wrong. Do you get the idea? It goes back to that. If you don't know that you are perfect, you're killing yourself. If you don't know that you are perfect, you're killing yourself. The only mistake you can make is underestimate how perfect you are. And the next thing that happens is you start to do bad things. Because if you are not perfect, you do what a non-perfect person doing. And then you get into the dwindling spiral and you're dead. The biggest enemy in your life are those people that shows you what's wrong in an effort to fix you. Thank you, Tariq. Now, why? Why? Certainty is a state where one creates with the absence of resistance. Certainty is a state. Certainty is a state where one creates, when one creates with the absence of resistance. Certainty is a state. You are just in a state, which means when you are certain, you move from the physical universe, you move into a state which is not physical. It's a mental state. It's a spiritual state where you put things there with the absence of resistance. If there is no resistance, there is nothing to check. Do you understand? You cannot get confirmation if there is no resistance. Do you understand? If I put force here, if there is no resistance to that force, there is no force. Do you understand? In order to have force in this universe, you need counter force. In order to check something, you need resistance. Do you get that? It is powerful, yes. So all your problems is because you don't know how beautiful, amazing, unbelievable, perfect you are. You buy to the idea that in order to improve, you need to find problems. No, in order to improve, you need to find beauty. It's like you don't, in order to kill fire, you don't need to throw fuel. What you need is to stop creating the fire. Take away the fuel. What is the fuel? Is that resistance? Is that question? So all we have to do is simply see if there is any, all we have to do is to stop putting the resistance there. Just know that you are perfect. Perfect means no resistance outside of this physical universe. Just look at anything and find the beauty in it. Look at anything, accept the viewpoint. Just see how beautiful it is. And you will see there will not be resistance. The absence of right and wrong. Certainty is the absence of right and wrong. When you are certain, no one can tell you that this is not your name. Because it's not right and wrong. You know. Do you understand? When you're certain about your name, no one can tell you, hey, it's not your name. You know. And anyone that tries to tell you it's not your name is actually your enemy. Does it make sense to you? Yes, good. 100% good. So if I fall from 100 meter, I need to, yeah, if you fall from 100 meter, you created it, you need to know, but you will not fall from 100 meter. You will not lose. You will not be able to lose when you're certain, because it's the absence of resistance. We will get to that, Vinny, one thing at a time. How does one get rid of that urge to be right and make other wrong? How does one get rid of that urge to be right and by that make others wrong? Because for as long as you want to be right, you cannot be certain. You understand that, yes? And you cannot be perfect, and you will just fail. Accept all viewpoint, yes, but how? Just decide, but how? Yeah, this is very key point, yes. But how do you do that? How do you do that? If you, I want to tell you that if you don't have 100% answer for that, you will have a problem in your life. You will not use your full potential. You will know that you are powerful, and even if you will be successful, it will not be your full potential. You will have problems from different quarters of your life. Yes, see all viewpoint, but how? How many times you've tried to see the viewpoint of someone that pisses you off and you forget about that? Margaret, I was going to ask if I say viewpoint is good for me. Oh, I see that, yeah. Good, Baya. Okay, tell us, JJ. Okay, I will tell you from zero to hero. This is the seminar that I'm going to deliver, the zero from hero. This is what I'm going to talk to you about, certainty, 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 certainty. Now, about the zero, how many of you registered for tomorrow? How many are registered for tomorrow to the zero, from zero to hero? Good. Okay, yes. Okay, I am good. So what happened if you are whole purpose of to make others sad? No, it's not the purpose of a lawyer. Believe me, it's not the purpose of the lawyer. If a lawyer knows what he's doing, the other side will just come to him and come to an agreement. Okay, good. So if you registered for tomorrow, I am flying tomorrow to Israel and I cannot deliver that seminar tomorrow. It will be, it moves to next Saturday. I'm flying to Israel because unfortunately my brother died today. It was very unexpected. He just had probably a heart attack or something. We're still not sure what happened. Don't be sorry. That's what he wanted. Yeah, it's sad for him because we lost one person, but he lost everyone and everything, and he's lost his car and his family, and everything else. So I think it's more difficult for him, and he needs help. Thank you. So tomorrow I'm flying to the funeral, and that's why I have to move the seminar to next Sunday. Okay, and I will send you, of course, emails and everything. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so this is why I'm not delivering tomorrow, but next Sunday, definitely I'm going to deliver, okay? So, thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. But can you tell us to be certain? Yes, I can. I told you many times how to be certain, but it needs to be more than what I already told you. Okay. The next option, other than to be certain, is to learn the correct knowledge. You can either be certain, just have this ability to be certain, or you can gain knowledge, because knowledge results in control. It ends up at the same thing. Knowledge results in control, yes? But the problem is, how do you know if it is the correct know-how? How do you know if it is the correct knowledge? When someone got to teach you, you see many people listening to many videos on YouTube and read and go to this seminar and that seminar and hear this and hear that. How do you know if you get the correct knowledge, or you're just getting what I call data poisoning? Most people are suffering today from data poisoning because data is so easy to get by. They get data poisoning. They listen to this guy, and then they listen to this guy, and then they listen to this guy, and the end result is that they are excellent listener, but not a producer, no results. The more they listen, the less they get results. So there's more confusion after instead of clear. Yes, exactly, Misty. When I observe and I feel true for me, true. Yes, very true. If you know everything, you know you need to, why do you need more knowledge? That's correct. That's exactly what it is. What does it mean to duplicate a viewpoint? What does it mean to duplicate a viewpoint? To duplicate a viewpoint, it means to put it there. To put it there, to assume that it's yours. It's the other person, but assume it's yours. And viewpoint is just an action of taking a particle out. So let's see. How do you know if the knowledge is correct? The material works immediately. That's number one. If someone tell you, look, I'll teach you something, but you will have a result in 2 years from now, or in 2 weeks from now, or in 2 months from now, it is nonsense. The material must work immediately. It must bring an immediate change. And when I say must work immediately, it doesn't mean that it works for a week. It works, that's it. Now, what does it mean that someone works immediately? It means that something has been deleted, not added. I deleted the block, and so what you already have works. Let me explain to you what do I mean. Let's say you have a box here, okay? This is a box. And the box has 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, and 4 legs. Okay, let's say that this is a box and 4 legs, 1 leg is cube. Okay, now let's say that this leg was broken and that box is about to fall. Now you can do one of few things. Number one, you can add another leg. It's not a solution. Why? Because that leg or the other legs will fall again. You get the idea why it's not a solution? Take them all off is also any solution that is temporary will not actually handle the problem. Because if I have here a box and the leg is broken, and I take the leg is broken, and someone put the leg on, I still didn't actually solve the problem. Because the problem is not that I don't have a leg. The problem is why the leg broke. Do you understand the idea? Because when you have a real solution, it works and it stays forever because you find the real reason. Do you get the idea? Good. Excellent. Number 2, you learn due to observation, not due to authority. Now, this is really something fascinating. Most people go through life and they expect something external to change their mind, to change the way they look at things. When something external changes your mind, you become a slave to that thing. Did you understand that? Okay, noise. Yes, wow. Okay, good. When something external changes your mind, you become a slave to that thing. Does it make sense to you? You can say that the sum of all your problems, the reason you don't know that you are perfect is because you agreed to something or someone external to change your mind. When you lose a leg, something external changed your mind. When someone forced you to learn how to play guitar, something external changed your mind, and so you will not play the guitar. Do you get the idea? When you have to go to work in order to make money, because if not, something bad will happen, something external change your mind, and what happens is you become serious and you die. So you need to learn due to observation, not due to authority. You need to look and to decide to change your mind. Does it make sense to you? Yes, James, yes. Yeah, you become self-determined, yes. Now, the next thing, the material remove major fake realities. In regards to cells, there are only 22 fake realities. But the material will remove fake realities. If someone tries to teach you by adding things, run away. You want someone to teach you by removing things, which means he gives you something that deletes fake realities, and so you make your own viewpoint. The material becomes yours. If you use the material of Moses or Johnny or anyone, you are a slave. It needs to become, if you want to become, let's say I'm Jewish and I want to become Jewish, if I'm doing it because Moses said or because someone said, I'm not Jewish, I'm a robot. But if I make it mine, if it is real for me due to my observation, well, now I'm real Jewish. And of course, I get the money that comes with Judaism. Okay. Good. Now, most important, the biggest, most important indication that you're dealing with the right data, it is you know that you know it. It is like you did not learn it. You got access to it or were reminded of it. If someone teaches you something and you say, yes, of course, I know it, it's so simple, it means it's the correct knowledge. But if it is something that, let me know, I don't know, let me see, let me check it in life, it's bullshit. It is like you knew it already. Because the only way to get the only things that the only correct data is what you already know, because you are perfect. And if it is not perfect, it's not you. Does it make sense to you so far? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Excellent. Amazing. Yes. So this is how you know if it is the correct data. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you such data, and you need to decide if it makes sense to you or not, based only on those things. Does the material work immediately? I teach you how to sell. Does it work immediately? I didn't say does it works in regards to sell immediately. Does it works? It means whatever I teach you about sales must work with your wife, with your children, with your coffee, with your car, with your body, with anything. Okay, does it make sense? Instant application, but instant application about everything, not only about one thing. If I teach you something about sales and it doesn't work about children, it means it's nonsense. Like gravity works in regards to pens, cigars, and everything else. You understand? It's not one thing. Okay, good. What is the process? What is the process of effectively helping anything? Selling or helping anything is the same thing. What is the process of effectively helping anything? Any person, anything. What is the process? What do you think is the process of helping anyone, anything? What is the process? Communication, first step, diagnosis. Curtis, you've been not taking notice. Yes. First step is diagnosis. Yes. What else? What is the process? What is the process? Make them feel safe. Yes. Caring. Yes. So process by its definition, it's more than one action. Yes. Listening, observation, ability to hear them, realization, diagnosis, knowing that you can help. Yes. Get them to observe, building trust ethically. Yes. Showing value and benefits. Okay. Yeah, let them see that you are perfect. Yes. Margaret, use the chat. Provide the correct data too. Understanding the problem, diagnosis. Yes. Finding out what problem they have. Yes. Creating affinity. Wonderful. Okay, good. So here is the process. Here is the process. Here is the process, and we need to understand each step. Why do we need to understand each step? Why do you need to understand each step of the process? Why do you think you need to understand each step of the process? Why do you need to fully control and understand each step of the process? You won't know it, do it, yes. To get the result, yes. To correctly apply it and get result. What does it mean? What does it mean? Failure, Misty, yes. To be certain, to do it without effort, yes. But why do you need to fully understand every process? Why do I need to know? What does it mean to understand each step of the process? What does it mean to understand the step of a process? What does it mean? Yes. What does it mean to fully understand the step? To know what? To know it. What does it mean? How do you know if you don't understand it? Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Let me show you something. Okay? Let me show you something. If this is you, okay? If this is you, okay, I'm making you not fat. You will need to thank me later for that. See, this is you. If you are a man, this is you. You have big muscles. Okay? Okay. Now, this is you. Good. Exactly. So this is you. And now you want to learn something. you want to understand a step in the process, okay? So what you do in order to learn the step in the process is, I say you learn it by observation. What are you observing? You need to observe picture perfect. Or the ideal scene. Once you're able to see the ideal scene, only then, when I will show you, when a sick person will come to you that will want to buy, you will be able to compare the existing scene, the existing picture, to the ideal picture, and only if you can compare between the two, only then will you be able to know, only then will you be able to know what you need to do. Now that apply, thank you, that's applied to anything, because what does it mean to have picture perfect? The real reason you want picture perfect, the real reason, and notice, listen to this very carefully, only if you know what is picture perfect, you will know when you are completed with the step. If you don't know what picture perfect is, how do you know that you're completed with the step? Do you understand? Okay, do you get the idea? You need picture perfect in order to compare between the existing picture to the perfect picture, and you need to understand it fully what is picture perfect, because only then you will know when it's completed and you can move from step 1 to step 2. Otherwise, you will not know when to move from step 1 to step 2, and most of your problems is that you go through a process, in any process in life. If this is the process in life, this is success and this is start, and you have different steps to do. Usually the problem is that you don't know what is picture perfect of each one of those steps. So you do some of the step and you go to the next step without completing the earlier step, and what you end up is life with open cycles, which mean life with no control. Okay, are you with me or not? Did you get that? So the reason we need to understand each step, the reason you need to understand each step is because you cannot know when a step is completed if you don't know exactly what that step means, what is picture perfect. And that's the problem of most people in every step in life. In sales, you have a sales process and you do step 1, step 2, and even if you know what those steps here are, if let's say I say, well, you know, you in one of the steps everyone knows, you need to find the pain, the ruin, why the person want to buy. Yes, how do you know if you found it? How do you know if you found it? What is picture perfect? What is the end phenomena that will tell you 100% I now move from step 3 to step 4? How do you know? If you don't know that, believe me, you will not close. And if you will close, it's because the person come to give you an order, you did not create the sale. Does it make sense to you? Yes, 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 yes. Good, good. So you need to understand each step, because if you don't understand fully each step, you will not know picture perfect. And because you will not know picture perfect what it is, how can you know when it's completed and you are ready to move to the next step? Here is the process. Number 1, diagnosis. We will explain each step what it is. Number 2, figure the most comprehensive handling. Number 3, getting the patient to duplicate the handling. It's not enough that you understand the handling. He needs to accept it. He needs to fully duplicate it. and it needs to be real to him. Then you're sending the patient to purchase the cure. He needs to purchase the cure. If you just give it to him, he will become more sick. This is really important. If you just give someone a cure, he will not use it. It's worth nothing. Ensure the suggested handling actually works, and then correct as needed. If you skip, what do I mean skip? It's not doing it. You don't complete any one of those things, or if you continue after it has been completed, you will have a problem later, because when you have a problem, let's say in step 3, the actual source of the problem is number 2 or 1. The source of the problem is always before. So you need to learn those steps. If you did not learn those steps, you will not actually progress. Now let's look at the definition of the word sell. What does it mean to sell? What is the definition of the word sell? What's the definition of the word sell? To help, yes, to help, to exchange a high quality product for a monetary amount. Okay, so if I have high quality product that no one needs, and someone gave me money for it, and if I help without getting exchange, if I convince an Eskimo to buy ice, did I actually sell him or cheated him? To care for and then to help, yes? And let's say I care and I help and I didn't get exchange. The result of handling someone's problem. So let's say that I handle his problem. Did you understand? Did you notice that somehow none of you is Jewish here? No one says that you want money. To understand the product or service that provide. Okay, bow. I want money. Good. You become Jewish. That's good. I'm Scottish. The money is the reward. Service for money. Okay, good. Let's have a look. So, sell is a process. The process of figuring out what the prospect really needs, and based on that understanding, figuring out all the ways you can help the prospect, and getting the prospect to understand that the suggested handling will help him, while ensuring the prospect exchange for your help, and thereafter ensuring the cure works as planned, and correcting the cure or the application as needed. So if you look at this definition, actually this definition include in it the full process that I just showed you. Does it make sense to you? Do you see that? From the diagnosis and through the understanding of all the solution, through figuring out all the ways you can help the prospect, getting him to understand, and then giving him a suggested handling that he must exchange for, he must pay. And then you make sure that what you suggested actually work, and then you correct as needed. So the definition obviously have to include the full process. So the first thing to understand about sell, that it's a process. It's not a one shot. It's a process. You sell continuously. Most people don't have enough sales. They have either a lot of new clients that they lose all the time, or a lot of existing clients that they lose over time, because they don't understand that sale is an ongoing process. That's probably the first thing that people don't understand about sales, that it's an ongoing process. If you don't understand that you need to sell your wife on you all the time, and if she does not understand that she needs to sell herself to you all the time, there will not be marriage. Do you understand that? Yes, yes, James, yes. Patrick, yes. Excellent, excellent. Curtis, wow, yeah. Okay, beautiful, perfect. So let's look at that. Let's break it down and understand the process, okay? So number one, figuring out what the prospect really needs. This is the diagnosis. Now, based on that understanding, figuring out all the ways you can help the prospect, this is figuring out the most comprehensive handling, yes? And then getting the prospect to understand that the suggested handling will help him. This is really getting the patient to duplicate the handling. Ensuring the prospect exchange for your help, sending the patient to purchase the cure, telling him go and pay. Then ensuring the cure works as planned, ensure the suggested handling works. Actually, you need to make sure that if I teach you how to play guitar, you can play guitar. I need to make sure, not the client. I, the salesperson, need to make sure that you can actually play guitar if I sold you on learning how to play guitar. And then correcting the cure or the application as needed. And you will see that each one of you, if you don't have money, you're missing one or more of those steps. Does it make sense to you? And just by looking at that, you can figure out what you're missing. Yes? One or two or more steps you are missing. By the way, when you purchase the incorrect husband, for example, you miss something in that process. You understand? You didn't understand, for example, all the ways you can get help. Really fascinating. When you went into an incorrect business, you misapply one of those steps. You have to understand that if this is true, it has to be true for everything in your life. Everything without exception. It is a robust process, yes. Okay, so what I'm teaching you, what I'm showing you is that, yes, I am teaching you about sales, but the real application is life. You need to check it against life. If there is one thing in life that it doesn't work for, it means that this process is incorrect. Okay? Anything that I will teach you, if it doesn't work for one thing, it's not correct. Don't try to justify it. Just know it's incorrect, and let's go back to looking for what do we actually need to delete. Okay, now, the process of figuring out what the prospect really needs. What is the definition of diagnosis? Yes, it is true, James, agreed. What is the definition of the word diagnosis? Hello? What is diagnosis? To identify the source of the illness, identifying the needs, to find the ruin. Yes. To examine fully the problem or issue. Yes. Identifying the true source. Okay. Cause of the problem, to identify the source illness through observation. Very good, Misty. Looking to find symptoms that cause the problem. Ahmed, yes. Very, very, very good. Search for the root. Very good. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what the dictionary said. The art or act of identifying a disease from its signs and symptoms. What does it mean? It means that in the physical universe, for every action, there is a reaction. Okay, in the physical universe, for every action, there is a reaction. Any reaction in the physical universe, the true source of the reaction is where? Where is the true source of any reaction? Physical universe, Where is this? From within at cause, that's explained John Carvalho. Within a thing reaching people, mind. The person reacting. Okay. Okay, good. So let's have a look. Where is from the body? Okay. Where is the true source of anything in the physical universe? Let's say that there is a car here. This is a car. You don't have to believe me yet, but soon it will become a car. You see, this is a car. Still not a car. Now it's a car. Here we go. That's a car. Yes, a truck. Okay. Where is the source of this truck? Ah, Jose, good. The truck, exactly, Susan. The truck is in the physical universe, for sure. It's a fact, but the source is an idea. The handling of anything, the process of diagnosis is to look at the manifestations and to find the idea behind it. Do you get that? Okay. Okay. Any fact used to be an idea, a spiritual idea. So when you look at the manifestation, facts are manifestations. The source is always the idea that actually caused that thing to happen. So you need to be an expert in looking at symptoms and signs and identifying the ideas that created them. Okay, so for example, okay, for example, a person wants to buy a car, but he has no money, okay? So you look, the guy wants to buy, he comes into your shop. If he comes into your shop, you need to know if he wants to buy. If someone go into your shop, if someone reach to you and say, I may want to buy, he wants to buy, there's no question on earth. It's just the question is, will you destroy this want or not? So the guy arrived and he said, I want to buy. Now, he tells you about all his problems, why he cannot buy. He doesn't have money, his wife don't agree, he's sick, blah, 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 blah. This is all symptoms, okay? Now, if you will find what is the idea that the car will actually intensify for him, which means the car for him solve a problem that is an idea in his mind. If you will find what's this idea, you will sell him and you will find that there is no such thing as no money, but there is just not money for you. Because if you really want something, you will find the money. Thank you, Patrick. So the first thing, you need to be an expert in figuring out ideas from manifestations. You really have to become an expert in figuring out ideas from manifestations. So you will see manifestations and you need to be a translator, an MRI of what is the ideas behind the manifestations. So the first definition is the art or act of identifying a disease from its signs and symptoms. The disease is here, is the idea. The symptom is I have a headache. The disease is an idea. The symptom is I have a wife. Do you understand? Did you get the idea? Exactly. Good. It is investigation or analysis of the cause or nature of a condition, situation, or problem. So we're finding the cause of a specific manifestation. Now it's very interesting to see that it comes from Latin, Greek, diagnosis, from diagnoskin, to distinguish or to know. To know. What does it mean to distinguish? To distinguish means to separate the manifestation from the idea. If you can separate, distinguish between the manifestation, what the guys say, and the idea that he hides from himself, not from you. If you can do that, you can do diagnosis. Are you with me? Yeah. Yeah. This is really fascinating. It is so true. Amazing, yes. That's what I'm going to teach you in that specific seminar of why you don't have money. I've created that seminar. It's really low cost. It costs $299, and that's what I'm teaching you. Today, I'm just telling you what I'm going to teach you. So you will buy it. You understand that you need it. Okay, $299 or for a payment of $100. I made it really, really, really low cost so anyone can get that data. So what does it mean? Diagnosis, the willingness to gain knowledge by observation alone, or the willingness to be certain. The link is gpint.info. Okay? www.gpint.info. Okay. Okay, so the willingness to gain knowledge by observation alone, or the willingness to be certain. From Saturday, it's starting next Saturday. Next Saturday, 5:30 for about 4 weeks, or until I finish the data I want to teach you, yes? Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? Curtis, yes, you are very, very right. Very clear, all good. Okay, good, let's continue then. If it's all good, we can continue. Whoops. Okay. If we can't make it, yeah, you'll get a recording if you cannot make it live. Okay. The why you don't have money series webinars, we will figure out exactly how one gains knowledge by observation and how to become certain. Okay, so this is one of the things that I will teach them. Okay, most of the time, a prospect tries to be right about his buying decision. And so he, knowingly or not, tries to make the salesperson wrong. Really, you have to get that. A guy got to buy, he make a buying decision before he left. And what they do, they try to make you wrong. They go to buy and they try to make you wrong. They go out and they're really ready to fight you. They don't actually understand. And this is, by the way, happened to everyone in life. It's a mechanism that happens in life. When you don't know that you are perfect, you start to make other people wrong. You just make them wrong. Even if they come to help you, like you are a wounded animal, someone come to help you and you attack it. Yes. Yes, that's very fascinating. Now the problem is everyone is sure they are right, which means others are wrong or no less. To do that, everyone puts out a facade of I am certain. but it is only a facade. It is only a facade. They are not certain. If you actually look and talk to people heart to heart, you will find out that most people, most of the time, are so afraid. They are definitely not certain. And fear means an unwillingness to communicate. And when they are unwilling to communicate, they come to you for help, and they're not willing to communicate. So the only thing that they can do is to make you wrong. The truth is, everyone seems to be certain, but they are not. How uncertain is a person? How do you know how uncertain a person is? How do you know how uncertain a person is? That girl you helped in prison who wanted to kill everyone. Yes, Susan. Yeah. Not giving a sale. Yes. By how wrong they make you. Exactly. Yes. Want to be right. Yes, Karen. Yes. Yes, they look exactly. In direct pressure to how much he asserts his rightness and other wrongness. So when someone is really asserting how right he is, you know he's not. That's applied to anything. When someone tries to tell you, look, I'm a good, I'm a good speaker, he's not. I'm a good musician, he's not. I'm a good businessman, he's not. I know some speakers that all they do, they say how good they are. Like, oh, I am. I knew one of those guys. I worked with him about 6 years ago. And he's like, whoa, I'm so good. No one makes money with him other than him. No one succeeds. I'm sure you know him. Yes, exactly, Curtis. Yes. Yeah. Now, when someone knows that he is the greatest, he will make everyone else the greatest. He will think that everyone is the greatest. He will not fathom how someone cannot be the greatest. Yes, this is really fascinating. What is the problem with that? The problem is that if you rely on what the prospect tells you alone, you will get lies, and so you will fail in the first step of diagnosis. You will not know what the actual problem is. So your chances of helping will be small. The problem that you have with this thing of I'm right, or trying to make the salesperson wrong, is that the guy is not in communication with you. He's not in communication with you. You cannot actually figure out what's wrong with him by simply communicating with him or asking him questions. Do you get the idea? You need to do something else. What do you think is the correct way to do a diagnosis? What do you think is the correct way to do a diagnosis? What is the thing that you have to do diagnosis in this way? Otherwise, what you have is just, you get lies, you handle lies. Observation, yes, observation, yes, but how do you observe? How does it work? Look at the result, yes. The patient client has to see for himself, yes. Yes, increase symptoms, okay. Ask and listen, yes. Pull out the truth, but how? Hypnosis by looking, yes, to look, excellent. Let's have a look. Actually, it gets worse. Most people, most of the time are completely wrong about what they want. Think about it. Most people, have a look at that. Most people, most of the time, are completely wrong about what they want. How do I know? Because when you take from them what they don't want, they all of a sudden want it. when you take from them what they don't want, they all of a sudden want it even more. And when you give them what they want, they don't want it anymore. Did you notice that? Most of the people, most of the time, are completely wrong about what they want. How do I know? You always want what you don't have, and you have what you don't want. You always want what you don't have, and you have what you wanted in the past, which should be what you didn't want, yes? Now, for example, happy is defined by most people as satisfied, or feeling satisfied that something is right or has been done right, yes? So people want to be happy, yes? Everyone agree with me? People want to be happy? Yeah, everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. But I claim that most people, most of the time, are completely wrong about what they want. Yes, this is what my claim is. Okay. Yet, the moment they become happy, they turn miserable. The moment that you give them everything, make them rich, they become miserable. Yes? Get a person to know something. Let's say a guy learn how to play, I don't know, to become a dancer. Now he know how to dance. They become miserable. Oh, I'm just a dancer. Fascinating, yes? Most people, most of the time, are completely wrong about what they want. So asking them what they want will yield the wrong result most of the time. And so diagnosis is generally skipped in the process of selling and in life. And hence, the low percentage of closing, the high divorce rate, bad business partnership, etc. All of it because you listen to what people tell you that what they want, and you don't find what they really want, because what they really want is below their awareness level. This is probably the most fascinating stable datum in the universe. In the physical universe, most people want most of the time are completely wrong about what they want. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, wow, this is really fascinating. So if you don't know, good. So if you don't know cold, what is the correct way to do a diagnosis, you not only will you not sell well, you will not live well, and for sure you will not have money. So the most basic problem of people is they don't know how to evaluate things. Everything is equal to everything else. They don't know how to separate. They don't know how to do diagnosis. They don't know how to separate this. They don't know how to separate that from that. Most people don't even know that there are two different things. Most people don't even know that facts are actually a deteriorated idea. Most people don't know that facts are actually a deteriorated idea. This is fascinating. Does it make sense to you? Called 100%, like with no doubt. No cold is an idiom. תודה מרסל. Okay, so now, so I would get you through quickly what is this why don't you have money seminar that I'm offering you to buy, and I want you to buy, and I made it really, really, really affordable that anyone can get it. I want to tell you what you will get, okay? It's a series of 4 seminars, about 10 hours in total. in which you will remove the 22 cells repellent. So the first thing I will teach you before I can actually teach you about cells, Goose James, good. The first thing I will teach you is what's the stops. We will remove the stops. That's the first thing. Now each lesson will end with a list of drills for you to do in real life that will guarantee you will increase your income continuously. The guarantee end result of the seminar is you will improve your income by at least 2 times the cost of the course. So if the course costs $299, you will make at least 600 more. Okay, so if not, you'll get your money back. The extra benefit is that you will improve all areas of your life. You will, what I will teach you apply to all areas of your life. Thank you. Now, so the cost of the course is, let's say, $1,000, let's say 14,000 rand. So you will improve your income by at least $2,000 within 30 days of completing the course, or you get your money back, no question asked, okay? What we will learn the 22 fake realities in regards to sales. How do you get to know? Now, only that, if I'll teach you only that, how do you get to know? It's worth 10 times more than that. How to gain the willingness to gain knowledge by observation alone, or the willingness to be certain. How do you get an agreement with the person that is out to make you wrong? How do you do that? The guy is there to make you wrong. How do you get an agreement? If you're Jewish, you should pay the $299. I am Jewish, and I offer you 4 times 100. Yeah, make him right. Okay, that's good. To most people, help means an effort to betray. How do you help anyone and get paid for it? What is the source of all business failures? Why you don't use and apply the tools you learned? How many of you learned tools, but you don't apply them? Did it ever happen to you? You've learned tool, you know it's right, it's correct, 100%, blah, 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 blah. Why you don't apply them? Why you can teach them to someone else, you can get someone else to apply them successfully to improve their life. But when it comes to you, no. Yes, why? Why? You need to understand the why so you can handle it. Why you have ups and downs in business? What are the external influences that prevent your business from reaching its full potential? There's external influences that you don't see. And those external influences are external to the business, but internal to you, that prevent your business from succeeding. What causes most people to fail with money, diet, relationship, and life? What prevents you from making it big? And more knowledge and tools that will change your life forever. If you've been in any of my seminars, you know that statement, more knowledge and tools that will change your life forever, you know it's true. Now, you will improve your income by at least 2 times the cost of the course. You will discover the hidden source of your failure. You will know how to instantly handle it. You will learn how to avoid falling into the same trap in the future. You will fall into the same trap again and again and again and again. You will learn how to avoid that. You will know what causes your failures for low periods and bad feelings. You will learn why business experience the famous roller coaster. And you will be able to eliminate stress, fear, and worries that stops you. And of course, much more. How much it costs, and etc. Here it is. So every Saturday from next Saturday, not from the 27th. So every Saturday from next Saturday, it will be online. The usual price is $9.99. I gave you the special price of $2.99 or 4 payments of $100. If you do one course, if you do 1 week and it didn't work, don't pay me the next week and get refund on the previous week. So you have no risk. I take all the risk. How you register? You go to gpint.info and you get registered. Okay? Any questions about that? Any questions? Curtis, you are amazing. Thank you. Any questions about that? Thank you. No, thank you. No, sir. Thank you. Love you back. Okay, Curtis. Excellent. Okay. Now, I want to ask you, are you ready for more or should we stop? Because we're already going for 2 hours. Do you want more? Always more. Always more. Okay, good. Susan, great. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, good. Let's do a little bit more, okay? Let's do a little bit more. So, okay, so we went through the definition of cells and the process. The definition of cell is a process of, and I'll just do it quickly, figure out what the prospect really needs, the diagnosis, based on that understanding, figure out all the ways you can help the prospect, getting the prospect to understand that the suggested handling will help him, ensuring the prospect exchange for your help, ensuring the cure works as planned, and number 6, correcting the cure or the application as needed. Ensuring the cure works as planned. 1 second, I just skipped here something. It's not the correct place. Hold on. Here we go. Number two. Based on that understanding, figuring out all the ways you can help the prospects, figuring the most comprehensive handling, okay? What is the definition of the word salesperson? What is the definition of the word salesperson? Susan, it's on YouTube. You can just type the name of the lesson with my name and you will see it on YouTube, okay? Okay, yes, I will. Wow, Patrick, amazing. 10 times your sales, wow. Thank you, Patrick. Someone who sells, who provided you value in exchange for another, a person conducting the process of selling, yes. Person who delivers the sales process, yes. Okay, good, very good. Let's have a look what is the definition of the word salesperson. A salesperson is a person that helps the prospect to help himself with your product and services. So to sell actually means to help. Okay? To sell actually means to help. So when you want to get more sales in your organization, when you want to sell more, in your mind, you really need to have who can I help more. Now, based on that understanding, figuring out all the ways you can help the prospect, okay? So if you did not complete step 1, you cannot actually help. And so you stop being a salesperson. Do you get the idea? If you do not complete step 1, you did not complete diagnostics properly, how can you help a person? Did you understand the problem? If you did not complete step 1, you cannot do step 2. You see that or not? Yes. Good. Good. Excellent. So what do you become? What do you become? If you actually do not help, what do you become? If you did not complete step 1, what you will inevitably become? A liar, useless to them, a problem. You leave, an enemy, broke. Yes? Yes, all of this is true. You basically cheat them, you are fake. If you cannot complete step 1, you cannot do step 2, and that's the basic problem of life. The basic problem of life is an inability to evaluate. And when you cannot evaluate, things change your mind, and you don't change your mind. Does it make sense to you? Yes, I can see how very important step 1 is necessary. Yes, most people actually never went in their life out of step 1. Do you understand that most people never went out of step 1 in their life? In their life, they never evaluated what they really want. What is the problem that they're trying to solve? What is the goal they're really trying to achieve? What is their basic purpose? And so everything else is messed up in their life. Isn't it fascinating? Most people did not actually do diagnosis in their life, just in their life. It's not that they don't want, they don't know how. Because everything in this life, when you start to go to one direction, why they don't know how? Because you look at the problem here, you are here, okay? And you look at a problem or a goal or something, okay? It's away from you, it's always away from you. As you start to move, you will see that everything in the universe will try to get your attention away from where you're going. There will be 5,000 dogs barking, and you will put your attention on the barking dogs instead of on your goal. So you will not be able to actually evaluate where you're going. Because evaluation, this step 1, is a step that while you do it at the beginning, it stays with you all the way. Do you get the idea? This is really very, very important. Good. So step 1 is very super important. If you don't do step 1, you will never do. Now, what is the result? Reduced cells and eventually no cells. At the beginning, it will be reduced cells and eventually no cells. Assume you completed step 1 diagnosis. Now imagine a doctor that learned only 1 year in medical school, or learned from experience, or learned from all kinds of sources, voodoo, witchcraft, a few medical books, never completing any of those fully. What kind of a doctor will that doctor be? What kind of a doctor? Crazy, exactly. And that's what happened with most salespeople. That's what happened with most people in regard to their life. They never actually completed step 1. They never actually learned the full story. So you need to understand the prospect, and you need to understand your product and the market and finance and all the 21 parts of a business, or you will not be able to complete step 2. You will not be able to have a doctorate in sales, and you will not produce the result. So in order for you to complete step 1, you need to understand everything about the person, about your life. You need to understand the full process. Okay. So the process is figuring out what the prospect really needs, which is the diagnosis. Based on that understanding, figuring out all the ways you can help the prospect, getting the prospect to understand the suggested handling, ensuring the prospect exchange for your help, ensuring the cure works as planned, and correcting the cure. Now we just went through number 1 and 2 very, very, very quickly, and I think that will be enough for today. Register, it will change your life. www.gpint.info. That's the link. Register. I made it really, really, really low cost. It will change your life. Okay. Now, if you got value out of today, thank you, Tracy. If you got value out of today, which I'm sure you did, please go and exchange with me and write success story on Facebook so others can join and become more able, okay? So they can use the ability. Thank you very, very, very much. I love you. Thank you, Candice and Regan, for helping me with the registration. And that's it. And thank you, Gal, for fixing the English and making this understandable, because if you read it as I wrote it at the beginning, you probably have some problems. Okay. Yes, happy birthday, Gal. Gal, have a birthday tomorrow. Yes, love you, love you. Love you, everyone. Thank you, and I will see you next week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you next week in the actual seminar. I love you, I love you, I love you. Register. Bye-bye.